Hello, my name is Dirtsheet Dave. We are coming to you live from sunny Stamford, Connecticut, and this is the wrestling news from this week. Those who saw the May 6th SmackDown may have noticed that during the Cara vs Tyson Kidd match, there was a change in the typical lighting arrangements, WWE deciding to let them fight in a golden and purple hue. The initial reaction was that this was simply a way to make Cara's matches more spectacular. However, I can now reveal the true reason this match was lighted in such a way. In my last video, I revealed how WWE was considering replacing the man behind the mask with Zack, Ryder, star of Z True Long Island Story. I can now reveal that the switch has occurred. Mystico has been sent down to WWE's developmental territory FCW to hone his technique and practice so as to avoid botching in the future, while Ryder has taken the mantle of Sin Cara in order to keep the character on television. The change in lighting was actually to hide the fact that Sin Cara has increased in weight, height and tan colour. It is not known how long this change will actually last for, but it is believed that Vince has been impressed with Ryder's work thus far on SmackDown. When Mystico does return, it's believed that he will feud with Ryder, who will assume the mantle of El Faco Sin Cara in a mask versus mask storyline. Vince McMahon recently revealed his intentions to turn WWE even further away from the wrestling industry and further into the entertainment industry. Rumours have been around for months now that McMahon is highly interested in starting up a WWE television network that would not only broadcast Raw, SmackDown and pay-per-views, but also other forms of original programming. A source has informed me that the pilot has already been filmed for the flagship drama which will broadcast weekly on the WWE Network, and that the current working title for this show is Super Cena. Described as a mix between Smallville, Adam West era Batman, and, obviously, WWE, this show follows John Cena as he saves the world from various threats. In the pilot, John Cena, playing himself, discovers that he actually has superpowers, including super strength and invincibility, and decides to use them for the betterment of mankind. Meanwhile, various wrestling bad guys decide to try and take over the world. In a surprise twist, George Takei has been signed up to play a recurring villain, but will later be revealed to be Michael Cole in disguise. The pilot follows a formula which I believe will be emulated week in, week out on the show. It begins with Cena screaming childish nonsense for 5 minutes, then getting beaten up by the villain of the week for 20 minutes, and then making a miraculous recovery and dominating his opponent for the final 5, showing no ill effects of the beatdown at the close of the show. We'll keep you up to date on any other news on the WWE Network as it becomes available. Speaking of changes in creative direction, rumours have been circulating that CM Punk is coming to the end of his current contract and is contemplating leaving the WWE. There have been many reasons given for his reluctance to re-sign a contract, including a general exhaustion from the hectic schedule and conflicts over the ownership of the CM Punk name copyright. However, I can now reveal that the real hold-up is that CM Punk has been pushing for a role as head of WWE Films, and wants the position included in any new contract offered in order to ensure his long-term financial success. Punk believes he is the man to actually bring credibility to the films department and is thus pushing for the promotion. On Colt Cabana's podcast, The Art of Wrestling, Punk had the following to say about what he thinks would be the best way forward for the WWE's film department.
Because I think I'm the only guy that I think deserves a movie.
He also had some harsh words over WWE's constant decision to push John Cena as their lead movie star.
Absolutely ridiculous. Basically they have everybody working on Cena. I wish they would worked as hard for CM Punk.
Dirtsheet Dave predicts that CM Punk will not sign a new contract and will likely be in TNA by Christmas time as their world champion. Time for my over-the-limit predictions. Here's 3 inside scoops. The main event was announced this week on Raw, and it will be John Cena versus The Miz in an I Quit match. Cena will obviously retain given the stipulation. However, following the match, Batista will make his return and assault John Cena. It should be pointed out that Batista's last match was against John Cena at Over the Limit in an I Quit match this time last year. Miz will be moving on to a feud with Chris Jericho then, It's my belief that Jericho will return on the Raw following the pay-per-view, and they will clash over the fact that Miz has become Jericho Light. Finally, it's also my prediction that Zack Ryder will call out Triple H at the show, and the two will engage in a year-long competition about who can fist pump the best. Finally, it's our viewers' question of the week. Chris P. from Canada asks, who is likely to be inducted into the Hall of Fame next year? I asked around backstage, and the general feeling was that next year's Hall of Fame will have a theme based around winning. Undertaker will likely go into the prestigious hall, his winning streak probably the one true special draw the WWE has left nowadays. In a controversial twist, however, Undertaker will lose to his WrestleMania opponent the next night, currently supposed to be either Mark Henry or the Great Khali. Charlie Sheen has been approached for the celebrity spot at the ceremony, as Vince will want to capitalise on the positive publicity that Sheen garners wherever he goes. Brooklyn Brawler will go in, for obvious reasons. Michael Cole will also be inducted. Viewers of Raw this week will have seen the start of the storyline, which will see Cole inducted by Jerry Lawler at the Hall of Fame ceremony next year. Vince feels if they can drag the Rock vs John Cena feud out till then, why not Michael Cole vs Jerry Lawler as well? However, the biggest surprise for my listeners may be the next two names I am about to reveal. The current plan is to induct Vince Russo and David Arquette into the Hall of Fame as well. Why? Simple really. No two men have helped Vince McMahon win in his business ventures more than them. Russo was one of the people responsible for helping WWE to beat WCW during the Monday Night Wars, infiltrating the enemy shows and sabotaging them from the inside. He continues his espionage work today in TNA, managing to keep them in a distant second place within the industry. Given he's also a former world champion, many believe he's more than deserving of this spot. Arquette may pique some interest, but it should be pointed out he has done far more than other inductees, such as Drew Carey. Arquette is also a former world champion, holding the title for 12 days, approximately 10 more than Christian did, making him 6 times better. The deal was made to induct him when he appeared at the 2010 Slammy Awards show a few months back, and it is likely he will headline the Hall of Fame ceremony before going on to WrestleMania and challenging Karma to an intergender main event match designed to garner more publicity. Thanks for listening, and tune in next time for more news and rumours from WWE headquarters. Please note that all discussed here today is subject to change and may or may not actually be true.